And some of us were given the gift to actually build generational wealth and build legacies. So for somebody to come to my life, for example, and tell me the gift that was given to you by God is a mistake, I am.
Welcome, guys, to queent'stv, where we talk about natural hair, baking, cake decoration, fashion, lifestyle, and inspiration. And today we have an inspirational talk. You're all welcome. We have my first collaboration, and it is done with the boss lady Jenny from the United States of America. I am so excited to have Jenny here with me, and I hope you all enjoy this video. Please watch to the end, for we have amazing tips to share with you all and to learn, especially young ladies out there. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we have an inspirational video, and I will be talking with Jenny from AfroBossLady. She's called AfroBossLady on YouTube, and I will be interviewing her. She's going to be answering, and that is a whole lot of inspirations for us young ladies and ladies out there. So, Jenny, you're welcome to my channel. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much for having me.
So, can you please introduce yourself so the viewers can know a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm like she said, I'm on YouTube at AfroBossLady, and I'm a multi-passionate being. So I do have a company, a bridal company. I do manufacture and design wedding dresses. I have a store in Douala, Cameroon, and I have another showroom slash store in Houston, the US. I also have some brand ambassador that actually work with me, so I'm able to ship gowns worldwide. I have many brand ambassador from Europe, the US, Africa, and so forth. So in parallel, I'm also a part. I also partner with the founder of Casitech Group, which is huge company. But right now, I'm the director of Casitech Academy, which simply means that I train learners in developing the soft skills, business skills, entrepreneurship, and we recently started a certification program for people who are looking into advancing in the career. So we have certification for PMP, certification for ITRL, certification for networking, cybersecurity, and so forth. And I'm also a co-owner of a primary kindergarten and primary school, and it's a
Yeah.
bilingual school in Cameroon, located in Douala. I co-own the school with my sister, so we basically have managed that school. We go to Cameroon several times a year just so we can monitor the businesses we have back home.
Mm.
So, in a nutshell, that's what I do. But on the other side, my career was actually I was trained as an auditor. I was trained as an auditor. So I have, you know, bachelor degree in accounting, and I have an MBA in finance and investment. So I audit companies, and I'm also the consultant in a nutshell. So I educate them on tax laws and how to actually keep the businesses in compliance in regard to tax laws. So I think that's what I do.
Awesome. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Like, you are the real definition of boss lady. Like, your name suits you like Afro boss lady. You would have said that better. The name suits you so well. You couldn't have described yourself any better. So Afro boss lady should stay.
Yes, and
Thank you so
usually
much.
I get a lot of people asking me what is it that you don't do, because they feel like, you know, I have a lot of things that I do, but just like you, I'm also multi-passionate. And I've been in the field for 10 years as a professional. So yeah, so I've learned some tricks and things, and yeah. Yes, I am. Thank you. Gosh, depending on the industry. So I deal with different industries. In my consulting work, the challenges. I mean, overall, if I have to look at overall, the challenges are I have to be everywhere. Basically. So right now, I have learned how to delegate. It keeps me ahead of the game. But the challenges are when something is happening, let's say in my school in Cameroon, just like the pandemic happened and the government decided to shut down schools. Those are things that I have to wake up. I mean, just because of time difference. So the challenges is I don't really have a time zone because I work on every time zone. So sometimes I have meetings at 2 a.m. in the morning in the US. I have meeting at 4 a.m. depending on what's going on in Cameroon because two of my businesses are actually in Cameroon. Um, so the challenges is just to manage everything. I think as much as women, we have the ability to multitask. At the end of the day, we do have to delegate a lot of things. So in my case, I'm used to always multitasking. I mean, I've always been the person who would do so many things at the same time. But my biggest challenge is to not being there when my people need me. I have overall I have more than 20. I want to say I have more than 20 staff. So throughout different companies, I have more than 20 staff. And it's really hard to, communicate with them when you're on the other side of the world. That's the reason why I have to invest in always going back home, back and forth, so that I can actually still be there and still assist them. Another challenge that I would say is you really don't sleep. You really do not sleep as an entrepreneur. I know many people glamorize entrepreneurship, but I'm here to tell you, you're really not gonna sleep. In the beginning years of you launching your companies, you really have to work hard. I mean, there's nobody else who knows exactly what you want to do except you. So even when you do communicate that you know, in a precise way, people still mess up. And when people still do not accomplish what you want them to accomplish, you have to show up. Those people that work for you or with you are not responsible for your dreams. You are responsible for your dreams. You are responsible to actually seek that dream, to 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 make it something. So I think that's one of the challenge is knowing that at the end of the day, I'm the one who hold the dream. I'm the one who has to show up every single day. One of my staff can just get up one day and say that's enough for me, and I still have to show up. I still have to figure out what to do, how to replace her or him. So the challenge in being an entrepreneur is that you don't sleep. It's really, I mean, in the beginning you don't really sleep. And I don't want people to think it's easy. I don't want people to think it's yeah, it's everybody's doing it, I can do it. There are days where I'm like, I can't, like, I just don't want my phone to ring. Earlier I was talking to you and I had two phones because if one is ringing, then the other one is gonna, then the other one is probably on silence mode. And by the way, I don't have my phone on ringtone, never, because otherwise the ringtone would be ringing every single minute. So I don't have my phone on ringtone for a reason because I don't want to hear the sound. So yeah, so the challenge is just multitasking, and really, not sleeping much. But it's not sleeping like I don't sleep. No, I do sleep. I just don't sleep enough. And I think I get to the place where I have built a good team of people who can actually drive the companies, then I think I'll be good. But for now, it's a lot of work.
I feel you when you say one of the biggest challenge is not being there when your people need you. The firms back home, the companies back home in Cameroon, it's sometimes heartbreaking when you cannot be there when people need you to do the things the way you want them to be done.
Yes,
Very important. The way
yes.
you want them to be done, because no one is going to do it the way you do it or the way you want it to be done. They might follow your instructions, but you feel more at peace when you do it yourself.
It's really tough. It's really tough. I think you have to learn to accept the flaws. Not everything is going to be perfect. And I think if you go into business thinking, I have a good idea, this is how it's going to go smooth, then you're
Mm.
really hitting yourself in the foot, because at the end of the day, you have to allow for human errors. I mean, people are
Yeah,
always going to make mistakes, and you
yeah,
cannot hold them that accountable. I do understand that if it's your staff, you can hold them
yeah,
accountable, but there's a certain degree in which they don't have your mindset, they don't have your dreams, they don't have your vision. So as much as you want to blame them, you actually, when you're not on the field, when you're not actually in the field doing these things, you can't really blame them, because I think to some extent they're doing the best. Some of them don't have the tools to actually do the things that you want to do. So I think that's the hardest part for me anyway, because I have, businesses in Cameroon, which makes me travel all the time. But in the future, because I'm living back and forth at this moment in time, I was actually supposed to be in Cameroon. um,
yeah.
I was already supposed to be in Cameroon for at least 6 months. So the
Wow.
pandemic happened and now I'm stuck here. But yeah.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much. You spoke a lot, and that will help many people out there who are going through the same issues like you. And yeah, your YouTube channel, you definitely have a YouTube channel called
Yes.
AfroBossLady. Guys, check that out. I will leave her link in the description below and in the comments below so you don't miss out. Some of us don't like to look at the description, so I'm going to go down there in the comment section so you check that out. Okay, guys. So, a full boss lady. I like your name. As I said at the beginning, I
Thank
really do
you.
love this name, Afro Boss Lady. Afro plus Boss Lady. It's amazing. And your channel is about empowering women. Why did you base your channel on empowering women? You know, you could have based it on any other thing. You could have based it on your business. You could have based it on, I mean, there are many things you could have based your channel on, but you decided to base on empowering women. So can you tell us why you decided to base the channel on that?
So I am a woman, so I think that's the gender that I know best. So I'm a woman. I was born and raised in Cameroon, and I had an upbringing that did not really favor or enable me to even dream bigger. So it depends where you grew up, right? I grew up in Cameroon. As much as my parents were educated, I think the stigma that comes with being a woman is really limiting. We're not allowed to do it all. We're not allowed to even have a voice. We are allowed to be in the kitchen. We are allowed to be smart, but don't be too smart. Be independent, but not too independent. So everything is really around how we can not only be who we want to be, but also be limited by what society is telling us. So I think from my upbringing, I saw so many of my friends who were really smart, not achieving their dreams because the family has imposed on them that they should have been married by a certain age, they should have had a baby by a certain age. They should have been, dating rich men in order to actually bring money into the family. So I grew up looking at that, and nobody in my environment were there to tell us dream, become the Oprah, right? So I wanted to bring that to this platform. I'm still growing the platform, but my goal was really to empower not only women like us, but also young girls who are 10 years old, 12 years old, right? Who are tuning in. And for them not just to see celebrities, because I think most of the time when you see Black women, most of the time they are Black American women that are successful.
Yeah.
So I want more of Black African women to be on the spotlight. So I wanted to be able to highlight. That's why my channel is Afro Boss Lady, because I wanted to highlight African boss ladies or even African American boss ladies. But because I'm African, so my focus was really on highlighting women like us, so that other people from Africa, other women, young girls can also be like, if she could do it, I can do it. So that was really the whole purpose of my channel. I'm not somebody who is that comfortable. I may look like I'm comfortable on camera, but I had to really get out some of my comfort zone in order to be like, you know
Yeah.
what, you've been talking, you've been having the kitchen table talk. Now it's about time you actually be on a public platform to inspire those women and those young girls. So that was really the motivation behind the Afro Boss Lady YouTube channel.
You're like working class women, marriage, submission. And I want to ask you, do you think that women who have well-paid job cannot submit to their husbands? Because from what you just said, it's related to the back home. We are being, as women, we are limited sometimes to higher ranks in the society because they want us to get married soon, or they want us to have children soon, or things like that. But do you think that a working class woman would not submit so well to her husband? Or what can you say about that?
So, in terms of submission, I love this topic, by the way. Thank you for the question. So, in
Mhm.
terms of submission, women be submissive. We have to define what being submissive means. I don't
Okay,
think it's
I
really
mean,
fair
yeah.
for us. I don't think it's really fair for us to look at what our ancestors, our parents, grandparents, in terms of women, the way they used to submit to the men. We're talking about a generation where women didn't even have the right to be educated. Women didn't have the right to even be professionals. They didn't have the right to even, even like the
Yeah.
basic human right, as in, I choose to be this. They did not have those rights. So when we're talking about women being submissive, I would like that conversation um, to be more actual. It shouldn't be based on this is what my grandma used to do and this is what I'm expecting you to do, or this is what my mom used to do. I mean, when we look at the generation of our parents, for example, my mom, that I admire, that for me she's a boss woman, I still feel like to a certain extent she did not prep the women like us, because she didn't know, because she didn't see it. So she couldn't really prep her boys. So this is what happened in Africa. They raise girls and they actually, leave boys to be boys. Girls are
Mm-hmm.
supposed to know how to cook. They're supposed to care of the house. They're supposed to be responsible. They're supposed to really be the minimum in a certain way. And I was that minimum, unquote, right? So I think my mom raised me to be that strong woman who can do it all, not knowing that the do it all will actually push me to becoming this, career mogul person. But the way she raised my brothers, for example, wasn't for that woman that looks like her daughter. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about being submissive, even my mom's generation and our generation is totally different, right? Totally
Yeah.
different. As much as we have many women who have paved the way for us to be here, but we have more and more women in our generation who are actually breaking down those barriers. So I would like for a man or for people to really sit at the table and talk about what does it mean to be submissive. My definition of being submissive doesn't mean that the man is going to tell me what to do and I'm supposed to be yes sir. You see what I mean? Like, my definition of submissive is we are in a partnership. As a husband and wife, we are in a partnership and we work together. It means that your dream, I'm going to respect your dream, but you also have to respect my dreams and support my dreams. I think for so many years and so many, different, I mean, in so many different cultures, women have always been, the pillar of families, and we're still the pillars of families. And we've always supported the men. We've always been there for those men, you know. They need to have a good support system. We've always been that person, that pillar. And I think it's about time that men also look at us as if, maybe we need to be there for them. This is their time. Like we've had it all this time. Now it's their time, and we have to provide that type of support. So submission for me, it shouldn't be defined based on generation XYZ. It should be defined based on what is going on today in our society. Where are women in our society? Are women doctors? Yes. Are they engineers? Yes. Are they CEOs? Yes. Are there, anything? So how do you want that woman to submit? There's a difference between being submissive and being respectful. So I would want for all of us to be respectful to our husbands, because that's what is, common, basic, human, agreement when you go into a partnership. You have to be respectful, but
Yeah,
submission has to be a conversation that you have with your partner. It shouldn't be based on what your family says, based on what society says. It should be based on what you and your spouse are actually having the conversation about. So it's hard for me to say, can career women be submissive? It depends. It really depends. I mean, another woman's
definitely.
submission is different from another woman's submission. For my own submission means that I have a partner who understands this is what I'm doing, this is what are my needs, and I also understand his, and we work in partnership in order to see both of ourselves flourish. I would like for us to be, how they say, the power couple. So this is how I see myself. I would like to be the power couple, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to, you cannot expect me to be at the kitchen every single day when I have companies to run. Before you married me, I already had companies to run.
Yeah.
So that's when delegating comes into play. I grew up with a mom that was a stay-home wife at some point. Um, Apart from her doing her businesses, but she was a stay-home wife for a long time. But my mom wasn't cooking
Mm-hmm.
every single day, so I didn't really have that example of somebody cooking every single day to show how she was submissive to her partner. My mom had a maid who was actually helping in the kitchen. And so I would like for my husband to also be like, you know what? Yes, if this is what you need, I will give you my support, because this is how we're going to have to balance it. And I'm a good cook, and I can cook anytime, but not every single day. That's, for me, this is not what I call being submissive. I don't say
Yeah.
long answer, but
Yeah, I actually think that there's a lot of misconception surrounding these women submitting to men. Because if you look at this, a woman who was raised in a village, for example, she doesn't have a lot of responsibility. She's not doing much. And a woman who was probably say raised in a city where she has a lot of things to do, working on her own and creating stuff, you don't expect those two women to behave the same, in the sense that the lady who is in the village, for example, or even if she's in the city but she's not doing a lot of stuff, has more time, she has more time to do certain things at home or around in the family, as well as someone who is working out there and coming in probably late at night and also supporting the family with money financially and stuff like that, has less time at home. So this conception of submission is really, it's really underrated or overrated. They consider this submission like, oh, you come back, you have to like bow to your and do stuff like this. I don't, you start talking of years back. Just like you said, the word is respect. We definitely have to respect our husbands, and our husbands to also have to respect and love us, as well as we also have to love them. Because at the end of the day, you can still even be submitted and you are not even respectful.
mm,
As well as you can be even be respectful, but are not too submissive because of your responsibilities, which doesn't permit communication. I think a working class lady can still submit to her husband in her own way. That
yeah, and I also think it's really, just like I said, it's really a conversation to have with your partner. So the other issue when it comes to, because there's a lot of conversation going on between the women of today. We are not submissive. We are not this. We are not that. We are too
Yeah.
ambitious, too successful.
Mm,
And I think we have to have more conversations with men about what is it that we. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what I believe. If you want, you can't have it all. Even us women, we can't have it all. I mean, not at the same time that we cannot have it all. So, if as a man you're looking for a woman who's gonna be at home 24/7, who's gonna take care of the kids, who's gonna cook warm meals every single day, then maybe don't go looking for a career-driven woman. It's that simple.
mhm.
Don't be going for a career woman. Any man that will actually come to a woman like me, for example, and not to say I'm better than any woman, that's just my life. I barely even have time to sleep. I'm always going up and down. I'm just a driven person by nature. I've always been. So for a man to come to me and actually expect me to let go of everything that I've done, it's really an let me really say it. It's really an insult to my person, because at the end of the day, each of us were given a gift. Some of us were given a gift of motherhood. Some of us were given a gift of putting people together, bringing people together, and some of us were given the gift to actually build generational wealth and build legacies. So for somebody to come to my life, for example, and tell me the gift that was given to you by God is a mistake. I am a sin. I, as a sinner, as a man, I'm instructing you. I'm ordering you to live the life that I expected my wife to be. It's really an insult to my person and an insult to everything that I've worked for. And even
Oh
that
yeah.
and even though it doesn't matter to him as much, and that's why I have to always tell women this. You really have to know who you are. You have to know what you want. You have to know the gift that you were given. Not everybody has, I mean, we all have different gifts. Some people have the gift of just beautiful voice, right? Like Beyonce, for example. She has that gift of being a performer, of having a voice that will suit people's heart and soul, right? So you have to know what's your gift. I know what's my gift. So any man that comes, he better know this is not gonna change. This is what's gonna be. I'm not gonna sacrifice the hundreds of kids that I have at my school just because of your selfishness. I'm not going to sacrifice the education of young girls, the mentoring that I'm doing in Africa on young girls, just because you
Mhm.
decided being home was better for me. So that's at the end of the day, we can't just blame men, but we also have to look at ourselves. Because if you don't know who you are, you will just open the door to anyone to come in. So respecting your mate is crucial. I would like to be respected and I would want to respect my mate and I would want to cherish him, to support him, to be that person that is going to, make him grow and improve.
Yeah.
But on the other side, I'm expecting the same thing. You cannot tell me being submissive means have less, you know, money, or don't run your companies, or don't impact the girls, I mean, the life of young girls.
Just take care of me, take care of the home, take care of exactly. No.
That's
Definitely,
being
yeah.
selfish. That's being selfish.
Yeah.
So we have to redefine what being submissive means. And it's a conversation that all of us should have at
You
home.
you said it all. That's it. We really have to redefine because there's a lot of misconception. Submission, just like you said, is between you and your partner. And I think the main thing is the respect. You have to respect each other, love each other, and be there for each other, support each other, let each other go to as high as possible. I feel like some men who come and they see a woman with a big dream and they are like, no, it's too much. You have that
Mm.
inferiority complex. Yeah, you have that inferiority complex. It is okay for your woman to even have higher dreams than you, the man. I don't think that's even a problem. But you supporting her to get higher, even makes you even bigger than her because you are the one leading her. But if you want to put her down, then I think there's something wrong.
Yeah,
Totally, absolutely wrong. So I think that inferiority complex is one of the things that some of the men are even complaining that the career-driven woman, the purpose-driven woman cannot submit. The woman, on the other hand, if the woman is really up there and has a lot to do more than the man, and she feels like she's like the chef, then that she too has a problem. Because no matter
exactly.
how exactly, no matter how big and how higher you go there in life, and you are a man, you know that the man is the man of the house. You still have to respect as well as he respects you. It has nothing to do with you being up there, but he has to support you, lead you, and keep pushing you higher and higher. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I love one of the statements, I think it was a quote from Chimamanda. Um,
Yeah.
Chimamanda Ngozi Achiji. She's a writer
Yeah.
and Nigerian writer. And she said,
Yeah.
somebody asked her the
I even have
question,
one of our books here.
yes,
Mm.
somebody asked her the question, wouldn't you, I mean, that's before she got married, wouldn't you be intimidated? Somebody asked her the question, are you not afraid that men will be intimidated by you? And I love her answer because she said, the men that will be intimidated by me is not the men I would be interested in.
That's it. Should lead her, then that's the real man who takes that woman with this bundle of passions, even if he has nothing or just one, and leads her, push her. At the end of the day, he's bigger.
What I usually say, I wouldn't be in any man that would be, intimidated by me. I mean,
You need a man that will be attracted by your passions. He sees that and he's, oh my God, that's the woman for me. I love her. I love her passion. I love her purpose. She's
that's
yeah.
true. That's true.
So, okay, what advice will you give to ladies out there who are multi business women doing one thing or the other? You can still do many things as possible.
So the advice is gonna be, I remember my dad gave me this good advice. I want to say, I don't know, 8, 9 years ago. He said, I was telling him because I wanted to have a farm back home. And I was telling him how I want to go into farming and I'm gonna process some of the, fruits and vegetable that I make, blah blah. And I remember he said, start with one thing. It was really that, start with one thing. And
Yeah.
then when you master it, or when you're about to master it, then you go on about the second thing, and so forth and so forth. And I took that advice because I was really starting to actually establish, what I wanted to do. Besides just being, an auditor or a consultant, I really wanted to start establishing what I wanted to do. And I took that advice and I followed it. So in the beginning, right, as much as I do everything,
Yeah.
I really didn't start everything at the same time. So that would be the main advice. We can have many passions, many things we want to do. If you actually spread yourself in every single thing, you're not really gonna do a good job. So you really have to start with one thing first. I mean, I'm talking about the women who
Yeah.
are who are still trying to figure it out and still trying to build that type of empire.
Yeah.
Start with one thing that you know you can master it, be good at it, delegate, then go to the next one, and so forth.
Perfect.
That's the first advice I would give. And the second one that I give, I'm probably just going to give two, but the second one that I give to everyone is, you have to change your mindset. If you already have a mindset where you're doubting yourself, where you think you're not worthy, or you think you're not confident enough, I will want you to actually start walking as a confident person, even when you don't feel confident. I want you to start speaking, those words, those beautiful and soft words to yourself. Because
Yeah.
more time than often, women always talk about how I'm not pretty enough, I'm not wise enough, I'm not talented enough, I'm not financially stable enough, I'm not this or that. I want all of you right now to actually start talking the opposite and tell yourself, I am smart. And I'm saying that because it took me a while to actually admit that I was smart. And that's why,
Yeah.
like, I had to be that girl that grew up and people thought I wasn't smart. And I believed the people who told me I wasn't smart. I believed
Mm.
them.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until um I was in university and professors kept on guiding people, students to me. Like, if you want to understand this material, go to this girl, go to this girl. And that girl was me. It wasn't until then that I realized that I was smart. I was smart. Like, I grew up being a confident girl, and I forgot that I was confident because I was listening to what other people were portraying, the stories that they had of me. So
Yeah.
you need to tell yourself right now, I am smart. Even when you don't believe you're smart, say it over and over again and start acting like it. Um, I'm beautiful. I don't care if you think the neighbor is more beautiful than you. I don't care if you think Beyonce is more beautiful than you. Nobody's gonna tell me otherwise. I am beautiful. I don't care if your hair is nappy. That nappy hair is beautiful. Um, you are talented. More time than often, women doubt themselves because we want to reach the 100% before we can say
Mhm.
I know how to do something. You don't have to know how to do everything. You just have to have the passion for it. So start claiming it from now. You are talented. You are able. You are equipped with all the tools that God has already given you all the tools for you to actually accomplish the dreams beyond your own imagination, but you are still stuck here. So I think changing the mindset and shifting the paradigm is really that. And stop listening to what other people say about you. Those people don't know you better than you know yourself. Those people are not living in your temple every single day. Those people are not feeling your skin, aging, or your body being sick. You are the one who can tell people this is who I am. So don't let people tell you who you should be, but start telling yourself, who do I want to be in the future, and how should I go about walking like that person? Another example, because right now we are on social media, right? So people, it depends who you follow on social media, but stop following all these people that make you feel bad, always gossip about other people. I don't do that thing. Like, stop doing that for yourself. Like, start following the people that inspires you, the people that when you watch the content, you actually want to get up and do something about your life. Stop just lingering around and blaming the world, your parents, the environment, the politics, the government about you not being able to get up in the morning. So to a certain extent, we have to be accountable too for saying for just being where we are and saying it's my fault if I'm here. And I understand that sometimes life happens, but for women, and I say for women, women, please, because there are so many of us talking about I'm not skinny enough. I'm not beautiful enough. And I just get tired. Personally, I get tired to just hear that all day long. I want women to really start looking at themselves in the mirror. Doesn't matter if you're not feeling what you're saying, but keep on saying it. Keep on saying it and keep on believing it. And don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. That's really the advice. I have many, but that's in a nutshell what I would
Yeah.
tell those women. Yes.
Yeah, that was powerful. That was really powerful. Thank you so much.
You're
Wow,
welcome.
wow, that was an awesome interview. Like seriously, we got a lot of tips from the experienced, career-driven, purpose-driven Jenny from Afro Boss Lady
Thank
Show.
you. Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you for having
awesome.
me. Thank you so much
Ah,
for having
thank
me.
you for coming over. It was awesome. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for your advice. Thank you for the inspirations. And we, the ladies, as we are viewing this wherever we are in the world, we are going to be touched and we are going to apply this in our various lives. Whatever shortcomings we have, we are going to apply this and we are going to be better. rough than
Yes.
now. If
Yes.
not now, probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, after tomorrow, we are going to keep trying. Thank
Yes.
you,
We are.
Jenny. And
Thank
guys,
you,
don't
Teresa.
forget to go over to her page. She also interviewed me, and it is over there. I'm going to leave her link in the description and in the comment section so you can check her out. See what I talked about, what we talked about. It was very interesting, super interesting. Please check her
Yes.
out.
Thank you so
Okay,
much for
guys.
having me, Teresa. I really appreciate what you're doing on your platform, and just the fact that you are just this being that is full of like beautiful, joyful, peaceful. I mean, just your aura alone is just beautiful. So I just wanted to
Thank
thank you.
you.
And I wish, as much as we're in different countries, I really wish that we're gonna meet one day.
Definitely. I know the US is like far away from Germany, but definitely we are going to meet up and
Yes,
catch up
yes,
wherever we ended.
yes, we are.
Thank you so much for coming over. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, like, and share this video. It's not only about subscribing, really share this video. There are many people out there who want to listen to what she has said, who want just one word of advice change their lives, who want just one word of motivation to get going, to get started, or to keep going. Please share this video. Thank you guys. See you in my next video. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. That was that.